good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Yes, I can. Doubt, better leave. I'm running with this plan. Pull me, grab us in the bucket, can't have me. I'll be the president one day. January 1st.
Okay, so we got some shoulder issues potentially, some sciatica stuff. Okay, anything else you guys notice when you're working out? Things feel off, tight, hips? Okay.
Hips,
Okay.
yeah.
For sure. So one of the things we're going to talk about first, we're going to go over like regular foam rolling and what to do with foam rolling. How many of you guys foam roll right now? Okay, how many of you guys like foam rolling? Okay, a couple of you, right? A lot of times it's just kind of, you do it and you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'll just sit here on this roller and maybe I'll get better. So we're going to change that to do more functional stuff. So one of the things that I often talk about is a stability mobility model. Right, so our whole body needs to be stable in some places, mobile in other. So for example, your ankle, midfoot needs to be stable, ankle needs to be mobile, knee needs to be stable, hip needs to be mobile. Right? If any one of those things changes because of injury or weekend warrior stuff, or maybe you had a great time over the weekend, fell asleep in a funny position, something doesn't feel right anymore, all these things can contribute to problems in the future. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of squat testing to actually see what feels good, what changes when we're foam rolling, so on and so forth. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so we'll do the lower extremity and then we'll do a little bit of upper extremity as well. Mainly we're going to do the squat, right? So for CrossFit people, you're doing squats, pretty much everything you're doing, right? You're doing squats, you're doing box jumps, you're doing kind of everything in between, you're cycling, so everything's using your legs, right? So we're going to basically find out what part of that squat is a problem and then address it using a foam roller. Make sense? Okay. Two things, foam rolling, we're not going to do that old style of foam rolling where you sit on something and hold there for, 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to change that to movement. What we found is that movement actually will help reduce pain and also gets things moving a whole lot quicker than anything else. Okay, and it has to do with deep layers of muscle fascia and stuff like that, which we'll get into. Okay, so everyone's going to grab a foam roller. Grab one of those. Not enough here. How's it going?
How you doing?
Good, good.
Good to see you again.
You too. We're recording this, so you guys will get a copy of this as well. So you have two angles here, so you'll kind of see both. Okay. And I've got two more foam rollers, so I can grab out of it. Everybody have a foam roller?
Yes.
For the most part?
Yeah, sure does.
All right, so let's have you guys scoot these back here a bit. Okay, I'm gonna probably short one. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna basically look at squatting. So you guys can knock your proper shoes off. We're gonna do everything from the back. All right, we got a couple extra foam rollers here. All right, so doing squats. What are you guys feeling so far? Any tightness, any pain at all?
Pain right here.
Okay, on the side of the hip, in the knees. Okay, what else?
Lower back.
Lower back, right? For sure, for sure. Okay, anything else?
Inside of the hip.
Inside of the hip? Okay, okay. So that's going to basically be our test point. Okay, we're going to use that. So we'll keep doing squats after we roll each individual area, and then you'll see a difference, right, in muscle tension and pain. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is the glutes. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take a seat on the foam roller. Okay, and you're going to cross one leg over the other. Okay, you put your hand back to support yourself. The leg that's crossed is the one you're going to be rolling, so you're going to lean more on that side and roll back and forth on the hip there. Okay? You should feel, lean the other way. You should feel some, not pain, but maybe some tightness in there. Now, this speed is good. Moving quickly over the area. If you have pain in this area, light and fast is what you want to do. If you want relaxation of the muscle, you want to do slow and deep. Make sense? Okay, same thing on the other side. We spend about 30 seconds doing this though. 30 seconds, It's not a magic bullet, but it's as close as I can get to a magic bullet for this sort of stuff. You had rolling back and forth there. And maybe some areas, again, you can bring your knee up higher if you want to get a deeper stretch in that area. Again, if you have any sort of tingling or numbness, you want to slow down? Yeah.
So pre-squat, like before workout, you go fast or slow?
Both.
Both? Okay.
It depends on how you're feeling.
Okay.
Right? If that's first initial squat, you feel tight, slow and deep. If you feel some pain, quick and light. Okay? 30 to 40 seconds is all you're doing. All right? Okay? Feel good, everybody? Everyone stand up. Ish, for sure. Right? And we're doing another squat. Just squat down. See if that pain changed. Does the knee feel looser? Does the low back feel looser?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you can already see where if you started doing a squat when it was tighter, right, there could potentially be an issue later on, right? Or you might not have as much function or power, right? As the muscle gets looser and easier to move, you'll have more power from that area. Now, the first couple times you foam roll, you may notice a reduction in your overall weight you can lift, and that's normal. In a sense, we're waking up the muscle, and you're asking the body to recruit more muscle fibers. That's how the muscles get stronger, is by recruiting more muscle fibers. But when you do the foam rolling, you're waking up areas that have been asleep for a while, so you may feel a little weak right afterwards. That's okay, though. All right, so doing the squats now, does the pain move for anybody, or has it changed at all? No? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So we're going to move on to something different here. All right, so we're doing the squat. Okay, perfect. We're going to now go into the hamstrings. So again, same thing, sitting on the foam roller. Going right from the bottom of the glutes here, rolling back and forth here. Rolling back and forth. You can turn your feet in and out to get the two different heads, right, of the hamstrings here. If that's not enough pressure, cross a leg over the other and roll back and forth. Same thing, turning the foot in and out. Okay? Same thing on the other side. In and out. Okay. If you notice your upper body starts wobbling, that's also normal. That's probably only me because I'm kind of weak, right? The rest of you guys pretty good? All right, good. Back and forth there, 30 seconds. Again, if pain is a problem back here, then instead of rolling back and forth so quickly, you can just keep your feet wide apart and just roll back and forth quickly. Make sense? All right. Show the foam roller out here. Pressing that out so get some glutes and then hamstrings. I feeling okay for everybody? Okay, back and forth there. Now, people often ask, when should I do this, before or after workout? I say both, and try it out, because everyone's body's going to be a little different. So you might notice that foam rolling before the workout feels better than afterwards. Great, do that. It's when you'll actually do it is the main thing, right? Because a lot of us just won't do it. When you start feeling better, you're like, I'm just going to give this up altogether. It's pretty common for all of us. All right, so let's everyone go ahead and stand up. We're doing a squat. We're looking to see, did that pain move? Do you feel like getting into a lower squat more controlled? Okay. Anybody feel weaker? You guys all feel pretty good. Lighter? Yeah, for sure. Now, I can't guarantee you'll be able to jump over a small building in a single bound, but I'm also not telling you that. Well, that'd be good to see too. I mean, if box jumps, if you'll get to a certain point with box jumps, and you're like, well, I'll try something bigger. Maybe do this first and then try, just to see if that helps to increase any work there. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're moving to the back of the knee. It's called the popliteus. It's a muscle right in the back of the knee here. It locks and unlocks the knee. So in a squat, if you have a problem back there, it'll make your feet turn out more, and you can't pull in as much. Okay, you may also notice when you're driving, especially long distances, if you don't have a stick shift, you'll have your right leg will get really irritated, especially in the back. You might feel swollen, and that's the popliteus just talking to you. Okay, so we'll do some foam rolling for that and the calf. So same thing, you're going to sit on the ground here. Now the foam roll is at the back of the knee. You're going to bring your feet up, you lift your butt off the ground, and kind of roll back and forth right behind the knee there. Pretty tender, a lot less, for sure. Same thing, you can turn your feet in and out. You can also point your toes and bring them back. That's also terrible. If that's not enough for you, which most of us it is, cross a knee over the other, roll back and forth there. Again, the idea is if you're having what you feel is swelling in the knees, try this lightly first, and then you can move it a little bit deeper. Okay? Normally this doesn't need a lot of work, just back and forth here. Again, it's 15, 20 seconds, back and forth. Okay, then moving into the calves, same thing. Calves back and forth, okay? You have two muscles in the calves, right? Gastroc and soleus. Soleus is on the outside, gastroc is the whole back. So going back and forth like this can work both. You may notice outside might be more tender than the inside, vice versa, okay? Same thing. You can also bring your toes back and point it forward as you're rolling back and forth. It's a good brain training exercise, right? Okay. You can also cross a leg over the other. More pressure. Same thing. Now, when you cross a leg over the other, make sure you bring the toes back and point them forward. You can even flick them. You really want to get mean to yourself here. Back and forth there. Okay. And you'll find some pretty good stuff. Okay. Try both sides here. Popliteus.
Doing this one.
Swearing can help. So if it hurts a lot, swearing can help. You might notice you guys are starting to sweat right now. It's kind of cold in here. You guys are all sweating a little bit. That's normal, right? That's a fight or flight response. Your body's like, I'm in pain, I'm in trouble. If you actually say to yourself, I'm safe, really weird, you'll actually notice that'll lower. Believe it or not. Okay, kind of a weird psychological thing. Okay. So back and forth there for the calves. Okay, this is oftentimes associated with back of the knee pain or front of the knee pain underneath the patella area. Doing okay? All right, 30 seconds is all you need. Okay, let's have everyone stand up. And we'll do a couple more squats here. Again, squat down. Again, you might notice you can get into a lower squat a little easier. Maybe you have less knee pain. Maybe you feel it's a little looser. Okay. Popping is okay. Popping is normal. Feel okay for everybody? Yep. Okay. Again, as we're doing this, if you notice any increase in pain, let me know. You shouldn't, but let me know. Okay, sprints. Again, we're using a lot of calf muscles for that. But often people also have things called shin splints, right? In the front, along the front of the shin, you get some pain. So we're going to do that in a minute here. The next one we're going to do, we can either use like a lacrosse ball or this foam roller works pretty well. We're going to roll the bottom of the feet. Okay, first one hit the ground, your feet. Your feet have 3 different arches in them. Yeah, perfect. If you want to hurt yourself, that's good. Yeah, you can grab some lacrosse balls. You can try just doing it here. You're just going to roll back and forth on the foam roller. You want it increase, so light and fast. Your body will be further away from the foam roller. If you want more pressure, walk closer and lean in. Okay, there's more of that there. You can also go to the side and stand real close, roll back and forth. But you can see how the lacrosse ball will be a little bit better in this area. Okay. I have a lacrosse ball and a sock that I often use. So you can do 2 lacrosse balls together, roll back and forth on the bottom of the foot, moving the foot in and out.
Foot cramps or?
It can be foot cramps. That's a common issue. Normally it's just to loosen the bottom of the foot. If you think about it, that midfoot has to be stable when you're doing a squat. So if there's something wrong, whether it's too mobile or not functioning properly, this will help to loosen the whole area up so you can get into a deeper squat as you're going down, feet flat on the ground. Make sense to everybody? So let's do both sides. Okay, we don't need much time. 30 seconds is all we need. Back and forth, back and forth. No, sharing this camera over here. Feeling okay? Anybody find any areas of pain as you're doing that? So if you do have pain in the bottom of the foot for whatever reason, some people call it plantar fasciitis, some people just have foot pain at the bottom there. I take a frozen water or a water bottle, empty some water out, throw it in the freezer. Once it's frozen, I roll it, keep a sock on, and roll the bottom of the foot. You can kind of roll any part of the body if you think it's inflamed with a frozen water bottle. If it's the knee or the hip or something like that, throw the water bottle in a sock so you can roll it on the skin. Again, don't want to have ice directly on the skin for long periods of time. Leave yourself an ice burn. Avoid that. All right, next one, always fun. We're now going to work the front of the shin. Oftentimes the shin splints or sprinting, if you notice your feet get tired or you feel you can't bring your toes up very high with sprinting, it's normally the front of the shin here. So we're just going to kneel on the foam roller. Now again, if your body is close to the foam roller, you're going to get more pressure and deeper. If you move your body away, lighter and quicker. Okay, make sense? Now you can turn your feet in and out as well. In and out. Okay, you'll notice some areas that are really, really tender in there.
Hey. Quiet. It's been a week. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
Okay, back and forth there. Good. Turning your feet in and out. Good.
Also an ab workout.
Also an ab workout for sure. The 7-minute abs.
Yeah. 7-minute ab machine rolling.
All right, so everybody go ahead and stand up again. Now again, so far we've worked the whole posterior chain of muscles, right? Glutes, hamstrings, popliteus, calves. So that takes care of anything that would be, in a sense, loading as we're squatting down. So when you jump, that's the explosive part of it, right? So you've loaded that area. So you're going to have to be squat a couple more times. Again, pain at all? Again, you might feel like it can get a little bit lower, a little bit easier. You might feel a little bit lighter as you're doing this. Okay? You may notice areas of tightness moving, and that's okay as well. That's good for us to know, right? As a chiropractor, I want to know what area is moving properly. So I have most of my patients go through the squat tests to see if there's a functional issue where I can adjust that, move some bones around, get some muscle work done to get everything moving properly. Okay, feeling okay so far? Okay. Next one is the quad. Thank you. Now quads, again, we can only get to 3 muscles of the 4 of the quad group. So we'll do basically the sides, middle, and inner. This one, same kind of thing. We can do a bunch of different ways of doing this, but we'll start just laying down here, starting at the knees. So in a sense, you can go from the front of the shin right to the quads here, and just roll back and forth. Okay? You can turn your body onto one leg if you want, back and forth there. Okay? Back and forth for the outer. Inner, you can turn your legs out and roll together. Okay? Or you can do it single, roll in. Okay? And again, you will notice pain higher and lower, so you can roll all the way up to the top of the hip. All the way up to the top of the hip. Okay? And even into the ab area. That'll do more of your psoas, the hip flexor. So all the way up to the top. And all the way back out. Okay? 30 seconds is all you need. You may notice that the top is more painful than the bottom, or vice versa. That's good for us to know, right? You have great trainers here. They can't always hear what's going on inside your head, though. So if you're doing a squat and you notice some pain or tightness somewhere, maybe you can stop and do a couple of stretches here. Okay?
Yeah, I know something you told me that I like to do now is in between my sets, if we're doing like a longer rest period, which sometimes in CrossFit it's quick, but in like a squat or a deadlift, when you told me to foam roll lightly in between sets, that's been really helpful for me.
Sure. And think of it too, your body, in a sense, is tightening up the muscles. Your body's goal is to make lifting as efficient as you can. You want to make it as inefficient as you can so you can gain strength. So you might notice you get to a plateau, right? Where maybe you're able to squat a certain weight, and you've been there for 3 or 4 weeks. Nothing you do seems to get past that point. Foam rolling can help to wake up some of those muscles, and then in between sets, you may notice you get a small bump as you go. Okay? All right, so roll all the way up to the hip there, top of the hip there, all the way into the belly area for the psoas. That's the hip flexor, brings the knee up like that again. So we'll have you guys do some more squats. Feeling okay for everybody here so far? And if you notice more popping, you might want to widen your base a little bit and try to turn your toes in a little bit more as you're going down. Just to see, because again, sometimes
widen your base?
as sometimes when your feet are out pretty far like that, it may be a learned thing because muscles were tight before. With the foam rolling, it's going to change how tight the muscle. You can actually maybe turn things in a little bit more and then squat down. You might feel a little bit more stable in that position than you normally do. Okay, so we've basically done the entire back chain and most of the front chain. one more area here to do, well, two more areas to do for the lower extremity, which is not always everyone's favorite, but the adductors. Again, inner knee to groin, okay? So we're going to do it a couple different ways here. First one, I'm actually going to turn towards the camera so you guys can see it in the video here, but you're going to put the foam roller down, and you're just going to basically lay in front of it with your knee or leg on the foam roller in this position. You're going to lean over and you're going to roll into the groin area here. Okay. Now again, if you bring the knee up higher, you're going to work more of the adductor towards the hamstring. If you bring the knee lower, you're going to work more of the adductor closer to the quad. Okay. 30 seconds is all you need, back and forth. So the lower you do, the closer to the quad you get. The higher you do, the closer to the hamstring you get. Both are important. Again, side. So again, moving it up high for hamstring, or closer to the hamstring. Lower for closer to the quad. Now some of us will have problems more on one side than the other. It may be higher on one side or lower on one side. Again, as a chiropractor, that's important for me to know, so I can adjust or do muscle work accordingly. But for you guys, it just makes sense to see what is the area that's most tight and then roll that area. Again, 30 seconds is all you need. Back and forth there, 30 seconds. Once you've done 30 seconds on both sides,
Is it good for the groin?
yeah. So if you've ever had a hip injury or knee injury, this one's great. If you ever notice you have knee pain or tightness after workout, this one's fantastic to make sure the knee pain drops. If you've ever sprained anything in the low back, this is a great one as well. Sciatica, same thing. For sciatica, you're looking at several muscles that work together. A lot of it's going to be the low back, but you'll also have issues in the glutes, the quads, hamstrings, adductors, all that stuff is normally involved. Okay. The one that we haven't talked about yet is the IT band, right? We always talk about this a lot. IT band. It's basically the IT band isn't anything more than a giant rubber band. There's no muscle fibers in it at all. So foam rolling is not going to change much. The muscle that controls the IT band is high. So you feel the top of your hips. Okay. From there, and you feel down, you feel kind of a bump on the side of your hip. Okay. From there to that top of the crest there, that's where the TFL is, the tensile fascial lateral. That's the muscle that controls the IT band. So if you notice pain on the outer part of the knee, or if someone's told you in the past you have IT band syndrome, you're going to work at that area, not the IT band. You sit there for hours and hours and hours, and nothing's going to change. Okay. So for that one, we're going to get to an ITB stretch posture, which again you're going to lay on the foam roller. Okay. One leg straight, other leg crossed over. But you're going to be super hot. So kind of from that bumpy part to the upper part of the back here, roll back and forth here. Again, you want to change or decrease the amount of pressure, put more weight on your feet. Put slow in that area there. Good. Same thing here. Lay on. Cross leg, back and forth there. Again, only from that outer part of the hip, okay, to the top part of the iliac crest there. All right, feeling okay so far? Yeah, popping and clicking is fine. In a sense, you're loosening the muscles enough that the body pops on its own. Great. There's pain, especially with the pop, not so good.
What about your chest?
You feel it in your chest?
No, like if your chest pops.
That can be a whole bunch of different things. It can be anything from as simple as you've had a trauma to one of the ribs in the past, and so as you breathe in and out or as you move, that rib doesn't move properly, and so you got a popping noise there. That can also be fine. But something you can, I'll something like that. Yeah. Questions on that stuff? Okay, we're going to do some more squats. Everyone stand up. Another set of squats here. And squat down. Okay. How's that feeling? Ready to start the day, right? So again, the idea with this is to show you foam rolling with some function, so you can kind of see what works best for you. So you may have noticed one or two of these was more beneficial than others. So do those, right? You can do all of them, which would be great. You know, from starting from the back all the way to the front, 30 seconds each of them. It's all you need, maybe a few minutes of doing this. Try it before and after a workout and see how that feels. All right, any questions on that stuff? How's lower extremity? Upper extremity is kind of a little bit harder. We're just going to do two things for upper extremity. We're actually going to use these balls here. If you want to grab a ball.
The weight doesn't matter.
No, it's just to have something to put your hand on. Okay, so again, when we're doing any sort of clean and jerk or doing anything, we have to lift the bar up or over your head, anything like that, doing any sort of pull-ups, stuff like that. We have an issue when it comes to being able to arch your back fully. Okay? So if you can't arch fully when you're doing any of these things, your low back has to engage more in a sense to take care of that. Okay? And that's when we have a bunch of issues. So this is going to be just a simple stretch here. We're using a ball. We're going to basically go onto your knees, and you're going to lean forward and kind of bow down to the ball here, your hands on top. Okay, you're going to feel a nice stretch in the upper back here. You're going to hold that for 15, 20 seconds. You let your head down, can help a little bit. You can try it with head up too, see if that changes where you're feeling it. Okay. Good, good, good. All right, next thing you're going to do, one hand on the ground, one hand on the ball, bow down to it again. Okay, at the top there, hold 15, 20 seconds. Good. Good. Now we're going to move this ball with this hand out a little bit and then do it again. Okay. Out a little bit more. Do it again. Okay. And you're going to keep moving all the way around the body until it's out your hip. Keep going all the way down to the hip.
Right there.
And then again, same thing on the other side. Out. Again, holding each of those for 30 seconds. Good. Again, this is just a good shoulder mobility stretch. Now, oftentimes we give this people to have rotator cuff injuries. If you have something called impingement syndrome, we'll give you parts and pieces of this. If you have a desk job where you're working at a desk, typing on a computer, impersonating a T-Rex, this can be super helpful. Again, to do just maybe every 45 minutes or so. If you can even grab a chair and do this, you can find a doorway. Hands upper part of the door, lean in, middle, lean in, and lower, walk into the room. Any of those things work pretty well. Okay, all right. We're doing pretty good so far. Everyone stand up. Now we're going to try this stretch. I'm terrible at it. I need to do a lot more foam rolling myself. But it's the one you grab here and here. Okay? So, we should have done this before, because you would have seen before, you probably could barely get there. After doing this, even just for 15, 20 seconds, you'll get a lot more. Okay? As close as you can, right? Now again, that mobility is pretty important though, if you think about it, right? If you're doing anything above the head and you're pushing and pulling anything, having that full flexibility is pretty important.
You get it?
Okay.
There you go. I would get 2 fingers.
Okay, so, but starting with this stretch can be super helpful. Okay? And doing this on a regular basis will help to get you to that point a little bit sooner on both sides and help to open things up a little bit. Okay?
The other side. Oh, no.
Oh, whoa. There's no way.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Other side can get
Only thing we can try here for that, and we'll just do a quick one here. You can grab a foam roller again. We're just going to roll the chest Okay, and we'll just see if that gets any
This side,
easier
this side, I can't touch it all.
here.
I think it's normal.
Again, you can do this against the wall. I just lay on the foam roller, almost like you're doing a push-up on the foam roller. I'm just going to roll out into the arm here. Chest, out the arm, back and forth there. And then chest, out the arm, and back and forth there.
You make your own. That's awesome.
Okay. 30 seconds is all you need. Okay, foam roll.
I'm sore.
For sure.
Oh, the damn rope climb. Friday. Rope climb, strict handstand push-ups, and the pull-ups.
That's fine. Make sure if you have any parts that torn
Yeah, Friday. That's
that
Friday.
once you're done doing it, you want to do it lightly. If you're feeling tingling numbness when you do it all, no worry. All right. Now, once you guys have done that, okay, we're going to have you go ahead and stand up again and retest. Does that feel easier or harder? Okay. If it gets a little closer, yeah, you start to feel touching. Okay. We know that the pec might be part of the issue. Make sense?
I can't get this one still. One side like this, one side like this.
And that's really common.
Okay.
To be uneven, right? But that just
Yeah.
shows we have a problem there that needs to be worked on. Push it. Okay.
I wonder if this, because it's this side I can't touch. I wonder if that's anything to do with that. Yeah.
We'll see in a couple days too that decreases too.
Yeah.
You went from like here to like that.
Yeah. Okay. We got couple more areas to do here on the side. Let's a little bit. Thank you. This is the. Have to have a better reference, right? Because I just have like the Titanic one. Paint me, Jack. So we'll do this here. You're gonna put the foam roll up and down here. This is gonna be for foam rolling, basically the whole underarm here. We have the subscap, which is in the armpit. We have the lats here. Ever seen people walk around with the ILS? Imaginary lat syndrome? Big. And it's a good exercise to decrease that. So again, you're going to basically just lay on the side here. Get ready to be painted, right? Back and forth here. Okay? Back and forth. Same thing here, guys. And lightly from the upper part of the tricep down to the armpit, back and forth here. Okay? Again, you can roll up a little bit more to get a little bit lower. Now, the lower ribs, when you get kind of where your nipples are in that area, you want to lean forward a little bit and lighten up. So you want to lean forward on there, maybe hold yourself up a little more, put an arm down. You'll notice some pretty gnarly stuff in there. Again, you can turn forward and back, so you can go a little bit further forward. Again, you can turn more towards the ground, the lower part, or further back. Okay. Good. Both sides.
That's gnarly.
Forward, right forward, or back. I feel like all my back.
A lot of groaning going on.
A lot of grounding.
Must be a CrossFit gym.
Feeling okay for everybody? Now, oftentimes from other things, right? It can be something as simple as, you maybe hit your shoulder or you're walking by somebody a long time ago, but you never rehabbed the ribs or that area. You might have an area of tightness in the front of the chest here, back, kind of all over the place. And we'll do that stretch one more time here. If that feels any better.
All right. Yeah, this side's so soft though. You want to come push my arm down?
Now it's one of those things, this is not going to be better overnight, but you should see some improvement from when we started doing this to now. Make sense? Again, same thing. Anything over the head, if you lift your arms up now, you'll feel a whole lot looser being keep your arms back there. If you do like wall angels, like the wall, you might notice that your hands will go flat against the wall a little bit easier. Okay.
A couple inches.
Good. All right, so any questions on foam rolling? We've just kind of done upper and lower extremity foam rolling for the most part. Again, if you notice when you're working out, things feel tight, try some of this stuff. It's going to be super helpful to get everything moving properly.
I think the biggest thing for this one too, guys, is that this is very safe, where if you're doing big stretches in the middle of an overhead jerk where it's really heavy, it may not be as good, where foam rolling is pretty good to go.
Yeah. And again, we tend to do with movement, foam rolling with movement will help to get things better quicker, but also helps to stretch up more of the muscle, right? We are active people, movement is kind of key for us. If you do get injured, this sort of stuff can help keep you moving, right? The thing you guys hate to hear is you gotta take a rest or a break, right? Most of us are trying to change our ways, PTs, chiropractors, MDs, because movement actually is key to keeping you healthy. So if you're not moving, you actually will get worse, oftentimes, unless it's a stress fracture, right? Stress fracture, yeah, none of that, or a torn muscle. But other than that, again, movement will help to keep inflammation out of the area, it helps to keep you healthy, and again, if you're able to keep doing stuff in the gym, you'll be happier individuals and stuff like that too. Questions? All right, that's it. Cool.